जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेव, जय सुभद्रा, जय माता।
Hare Bye. प्रहलाद महाराज की, जगतगुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की और प्रेम।
Here and then after the Sunday lecture is over, we'll have more kirtan, mini arati, followed by announcement, and then there will be prasad for everyone. Geeta Mataji Shri Jai, disciple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and she's also Bhakti Vriksha, she's leading the Bhakti Vriksha all over Metro Atlanta. Let's welcome him. Let's welcome her by chanting one time Hare Krishna loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you all for coming. So today we will talk about the glories of Narad Muni. Is there anyone here who doesn't know Narad Muni? Everybody knows. So the class is over. Let's see Prashadam. Everybody knows, right? But it's always good to hear again and again, even though we have read and we have heard before. There's a very nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 3, verse 20, where Yamaraj, the Lord of Death, is giving knowledge to the Yamadutas, and he says, Swayam Bhur Narada Shambho, Kumara Kapilo Mano, Pralada Janaka Bhishmo, Vali Prayasiki Vayam. He talks about the 12 Mahajanas. Maha means great, Jana means personality. 12 great personalities, and out of that one is Narad Muni. Swayambhur Narada. Narad Muni is one of them. In the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, we will see Narad Muni is there practically in every canto. He's there practically in every canto. And he's considered to be a transcendental space man. Not an alien, but a transcendental spaceman, which means he's empowered to travel in any planet that he wants. He can go to any planet that he wants. And the main purpose of him traveling is to give Krishna consciousness to others. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also in his Chaitanya Charitamrita, he mentions that Narad Muni is a Shaktya Vesha avatar, which means an empowered incarnation of Krishna. And, of course, he has a spiritual body. The teachings of Narad Muni, we can find them in Narada Bhakti Sutra, in Narada Pancharatra. And even in Bhagavatam, as we study, we will see how Narad Muni helps his devotees and his disciples to become self-realized. Now, in the very first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad Muni explains to his disciple Vyasadeva, who is also an incarnation of Krishna, and he explains to him based on the question that Vyasadeva asked him. He wanted to know, what were you, who were you before you became Narad Muni? How many of us would like to know who we were in the past life? Anybody? I don't think so, because the fact that we are in this material world, in the material body and conditioned, that itself tells us that it probably was a material birth also. But because Vyasadeva inquired, Narad Muni explains to him how he became Narad Muni, the great transcendental spaceman in a spiritual body. So he explains that in the previous life, his parentage was insignificant. Why? Because he was the son of a maid servant. It's very difficult to find maid servants in the US. Do you agree? In India, very easy to find maid servant to cook for you, clean for you, do your laundry, do your dishes, right? Here, it's very expensive. But in India, it is very easy. I think not nowadays, right? Now it's not easy to find a maid servant. True. But in those days, so the mother was a maid servant, which means she went from home to home doing housework, like cleaning dishes, and whatever was necessary to do. So he was a son of a maid servant and was only 5 years old. Now, Narad Muni used to help his mother in the work. So it so happened, in those days, during the rainy season, like it's raining now, in the rainy season, it lasted for 4 months in India, right? That's called the rainy season. And during that time, great saintly people, they would visit homes of grihasthas and they would teach Bhagavatam. They would talk about the Supreme Lord. They would talk about self-realization and give knowledge to the residents of that house. So fortunately, Narad Muni's mother, she was doing work in one home where a few of these great devotees came to visit for 4 months. And Bhagavatam states them as Bhakti Vedantas. Bhakti means devotion. Vedanta, Veda Anta, those who know the conclusion of the Vedas, who understand that Bhakti is the only way for self-realization. So these Bhakti Vedantas, they stayed in that home for 4 months teaching about Krishna. And Narad Muni, this 5-year-old boy, what do 5-year-old boys do nowadays? Play. Especially on their parents' phone, right? Some of them have their own phone too. Yes. And what do they play? Video games. I haven't seen any 5-year-old boy sitting and going through YouTube Bhagavatam class or hearing kirtan. No, it's only playing video games or I don't know what else. Nowadays 5-year-olds even know about Instagram, Facebook. What else is there? Instagram, Facebook.
TikTok.
Huh?
TikTok.
TikTok, yes. TikTok, sure. You don't even know and you've spent hours on just browsing one video after another. But this 5-year-old boy, Narad Muni, that time he wasn't Narad Muni, but he sat down and every day he would hear attentively whatever was taught by these Bhakti Vedantas. How very fortunate. He was so keen on learning, and the fact that he became Narad Muni was because of rapt attention to those words of the Bhakti Vedantas. Not only that, he also served them. He would serve them prasadam, he would wash their clothes, iron the clothes. He would help those Bhakti Vedantas in every way possible. So this was what helped him to become self-realized. When the guests come to our house, what do the 5-year-olds do? Run away. They don't want to help in any way. And not only that, their eyes are only on prasadam. What is there to eat? You know, some samosas and gulab jamuns or whatever, waiting for the guests to go so that they can eat whatever is left over. But no, Narad Muni, he was so dedicated in serving these Bhaktivedantas that one time, only one time, he took the permission from these Bhaktivedantas if he can eat their leftover. Permission. This is Vaishnava etiquette. See, prasadam is very, very powerful. We may not realize it. So when the bhoga is offered to the deities, it becomes Mahaprasad. But when it is accepted by a pure devotee, that leftover becomes what? Mahaprasad. Double. The potency doubles just because those pure devotees have partaken from that. So he took permission and they gave him permission and he just ate one time from their plate and it was like an atom bomb. It went inside his body and it cleansed, he's telling Vyasadeva, it cleansed him of all the sins a 5-year-old would have done. Just a 5-year-old. But whatever sins he had committed, he got completely cleansed of all the sins. Srila Prabhupada used to call the gulab jamuns. Anyone here doesn't know about gulab jamun? You don't know gulab jamun? Oh, it is. You do? Have you tried? It's so hard to describe gulab jamun. It is so yummy. It is soft. It is full of sugar syrup, and have you all tried a gulab jamun? Yes? No?
Sure.
Yes? You don't know. Okay, you should Google gulab jamun and just see the picture of gulab jamun. It is so yummy. So when the gulab jamun goes inside, Prabhupada said it works like an atom bomb because it explodes inside the body if it is Mahaprasada. And what does it do? It explodes in the consciousness. It purifies the consciousness. In fact, Srila Prabhupada has taught us how to offer bhoga to the deities, how to honor that Mahaprasadam, and what is the result of eating Mahaprasad. He says that just by eating a little bit of Mahaprasad, the finer brain tissues also get purified. Finer brain tissues. Besides the senses, the body, the mind, everything gets purified, but even finer brain tissues. Now what could be the result of that? One may say, who cares if, no. Because when the finer brain tissues get purified, we can understand Bhagavatam more clearly. That is why it is recommended that we should only eat Krishna Prasad. So this was the effect Narad Muni felt in his body, in his consciousness, just by eating Mahaprasad only one time. Now these Bhaktivedantas, they were, very pleased with the service of this 5-year-old boy. So this 5-year-old boy was blessed by them. It is very common in India especially, that whenever a saintly person we see, what do? We want to bow down and take the blessings. We may not do anything, we may not chant, we may not read, we may not go to temple, not anything, but we want the blessing from that saintly person. What? Please help me. So that, some material desires can be fulfilled. Blessing. Here Narad Muni got the blessing of these Bhaktivedantas. And what was the blessing? Blessing of pure devotional service. What more can one want? And not only that, before they left after 4 months of staying in that home, they planted the seed of devotion in the heart of Narad Muni. How very fortunate. We all today sitting here and hearing about Narad Muni is not a coincidence. Do you agree? It's not a coincidence. It's because we have heard before. It's because we have accumulated piety in our previous lives that now we have the opportunity to hear about the transcendental spaceman called Narad Muni. So when the Bhaktivedantas planted the seed of devotion in his heart, he took it upon himself to work on it. What did he do? So when we sow a seed, what do we do? Water it. Right? Give it proper sunlight. Remove the weeds. And also put a fence around it so that that creeper is protected. So that is what Narad Muni did. He watered that seed of devotion in his heart by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. This is how he watered. That is why Srila Prabhupada, when he gave us this process of Krishna consciousness, he emphasized on chanting. Chanting is our life and soul. In fact, 99% of our spiritual growth depends on chanting. So now we need to decide, what do we want? Do we want to progress, or we are happy where we are? But if we want to progress, then we need to chant. Now when we fall sick, where do we go? We go to an engineer, right? When we fall sick. No? Uh-oh. Where do we go? We go to a doctor. Because the doctor hopefully knows what is the disease and hopefully knows what is the medication. But the spiritual doctor, Lord Sri Krishna, he knows our disease. And that is why he's already given us a medication. And along with the medication, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. He's also given us a dosage. Please give him water. Please give him water. Yes, let him. Yes, thank you. So, where was I? Kalyuga memory. Yes, so he even gave us a dosage, right? Just like when we go to the doctor, gives a prescription and it has the dosage on it. That you take 1 tablet 3 times a day or twice a day or whatever. Similarly, the spiritual doctor has given us the dosage for Kali Yuga, and that is to chant the Mahamantra 16 rounds every day. Then and only then we will be able to cleanse our heart of all the unwanted things. So Narad Muni, he knew, just a 5-year-old boy, he knew, and so he would chant and chant and chant. And then that is watering. But what about the weeds? How many of us do gardening or mow the lawn? How many weeds are there? One time I remember my husband asked me to pull the weeds and I fell down because they are so much deep inside, right? It's so hard to pull out the weeds. You know, if you don't wear the gloves, then your hand is gone the next day. So pulling out the weeds is very, very important. And what are those weeds? Lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion. And that is what Narad Muni did. If he saw any weed, he pulled it out. And then he even protected his seed of devotion with a fencing. And fencing, according to Srila Prabhupada, and even in fact Rupa Goswami also talks about it, is fencing is association of devotees. Because when we associate with devotees, then we get the benefit. Because what do the devotees talk about? Hopefully about Krishna, right? I don't know if devotees talk about politics, what's going on in the world, what's happening, this war, that war. Sometimes I get messages asking, did you watch the TV? Did you see this place bombed? This? No. When we have association of devotees, they talk about Krishna Katha. And that helps us more and more to become purified. So, Narad Muni, in fact, he became infected with purity. How many of us like infection? Nobody likes it. But when it comes to purity, don't mind being infected with purity. And that is what happened with Narad Muni. He was so blessed by these Bhaktivedantas that gradually he started feeling ecstasy. Ecstasy. He felt so much transcendental pleasure. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, Susukham kartam avyapya, Rajavidya Rajaguhyam, Pavitram idam uttamam. He says that this knowledge, this spiritual science which I am giving to you is susukham, it gives you pleasure. How many of us are seeking pleasure or happiness? Please raise your hand. How many of us want happiness and pleasure? Always, right? That means we don't have it. If we were already happy and in full bliss, then our hands would not go up because we are already satisfied. We are happy. But we are looking for it. So here Narad Muni, he experienced ecstatic love for Krishna. Just by what? Just by the simple association with Bhaktivedantas, pure devotees. That's all. That reminds me of a story I had heard from one of the Puranas, where one time Hanuman, anyone here doesn't know who's Hanuman? Everybody knows. Okay. Good, otherwise I would have to go deep in detail about Hanuman. So Hanuman, we know, worshipped Lord Ramachandra. So he was in his small cottage worshipping, chanting the names of Lord Ram and very blissful, and there lands Narad Muni. He comes to the door. And as soon as Hanuman sees Narad Muni, now we all know Narad Muni travels with what? Come on, with the veena, right? He plays the veena. And that veena, it is said in Linga Puran, that veena was given to him by Lord Krishna. That gives out transcendental sound that helps one become purified. So he uses the veena to preach about Krishna to everyone. So he landed with his veena. Guess what Hanuman did? He left his prayers, whatever he was doing, he grabbed the veena of Narad Muni and started running. Now Narad Muni is very attached to the veena because it's given by Krishna himself. And this is how he preached. So what did Hanuman do? He started running from one place to another inside his house. Round and round and round. He went to all the different corners of the house with the veena running. When he covered the whole area, nowadays our home is how many square feet? 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 square feet. But Hanuman was in a small cottage, so wherever he was, he ran everywhere and came back to that same point and gave the veena back to Narad Muni. Narad Muni also was tired running behind him because he wanted the veena. He asked him, why did you do this? We are not running a marathon, there is no Olympics going on, nothing is happening. Why this running race? He explained to Narad Muni that the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee, when it enters our house, the house becomes purified. So he wanted to cover all the corners of the house to purify the whole house, even though it's purified because it's Hanuman's house. That is the importance of devotee association. It is said, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kai, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. If you want liberation, then even a moment's association with a pure devotee is sufficient. Lava Matra, even it's a fraction of a second. And here we are, sitting in the temple of Radha and Krishna, associating with devotees, hearing Krishna Katha, having darshan of the deities. How fortunate are we? So Narad Muni, he was able to, he purified himself. Even though he was purified, he continued chanting. It's not that, oh, now I'm pure, I don't have to do anything else. No. He continued chanting, continued preaching, continued to remember Krishna. And then, because he was, it's mentioned in the Bhagavatam that he had a tie of affection with his mother, which is natural, right? Children are attached to the mother. Krishna wanted to take that away also from him, to let him surrender completely. So it so happened that one night, when his mother was outside, there a snake bit her. And because of the snake bite, the mother died instantly. Now, Narad Muni, 5-year-old boy, is lost. He's left completely alone. That last tie of affection was also broken. So what do you think Narad Muni did? Did he sit down in one corner and cry and, blame God that you are so, what is the opposite of compassionate? Cruel. Yes, that's a very strong word. You're so cruel. You took away my last, chance of hope, my only, connection I had in this world. What did you do? What wrong did I do? I'm only 5 years old. I didn't commit any sinful act. Why? No. He took that as a mercy of Krishna. Whenever, I'm sure we all have come across death of a near or dear one, yes? What do we do? First thing is we blame God. Why did you take this one away from my life? It hardly lived any life. He was only 70 years old, he still had so much life left. Why did you take him away? No. He did not blame God at all. He took that as a mercy. Even Srila Prabhupada says that whenever miseries come to devotees, they take that as mercy of Krishna. And what did he do? He started traveling. He went from one village to another town, everywhere talking about Krishna. He started preaching. Now this 5-year-old boy was already initiated by these Bhaktivedantas. So he was empowered by those pure devotees. You see, we cannot preach for two reasons. If we do not practice what we preach, and if we are not empowered, we cannot preach. Preaching doesn't mean that sitting somewhere and giving a class or giving a lecture. No, preaching means touching the hearts of other living entities. Giving them knowledge so that they develop a desire to become self-realized. And that is what Narad Muni did. He started going from one town to another, just preaching about Krishna consciousness. And then one time, he sat down to meditate on the Super Soul in the heart, Paramatma in the heart, Krishna in the heart. He sat down to meditate. And his meditation was so powerful, so pure, that Krishna appeared in his heart. Now when we say Krishna is already in the heart, where is the question of appearing? That means he realized Krishna in the heart. How many of us, when we wake up in the morning and we are ecstatic that Krishna is in my heart, we don't even realize it, we don't even think about it, we take it for granted, but he realized it. When he had darshan of Krishna within his heart, he was so ecstatic and happy, but then Krishna disappeared. And then he became grief-stricken. He was like, where is Krishna? I want him, I want him. But there was no sign of Krishna. And then Krishna told him from within the heart, you won't see me in this lifetime. In the next, yes, but not in this lifetime. But because he was able to have darshan of the Supreme Lord, it helped him to increase his hankering for Krishna. Hankering. What exactly does hankering mean? Have we experienced that in our lives? What do we hanker for? Big position in the office. Hanker for double promotion. What else do we hanker for?
Prestige.
Huh?
Prestige.
Prestige, honor, money. We hanker for so many things. But here Narad Muni was hankering for Krishna. And because of that, he started chanting more, remembering more. See, Srila Prabhupada has given us a very simple process. That simple process is chant and be happy. That's it. But how do we chant? I always talk about chanting in all my classes. Why? Because it is the basis of our spiritual growth. We have to chant very clearly. Every word very Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I was in India recently, and in the morning after Mangal Arati, we all devotees, we sit or walk and we chant. And I came across a devotee who was chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram. And I'm like, that is not the Maha Mantra. We get so used to chanting, we get so conditioned to chanting the way we have been chanting all along, which has been wrong, and we continue to do the same. No, there's no difference between Krishna and his holy name, so we need to give rapt attention to our chanting. What are we chanting? Are we chanting the Maha Mantra correctly? If yes, what is the speed at which we are chanting? Sometime back, someone told me, I finished my 16 rounds in 1 hour. Is that possible? Yes or no? No. Even if we chant at express speed, in India there is that Gitanjali Express that zooms, right, from one city to another. Even if we chant at express speed, we cannot finish 16 rounds in 1 hour. That is not possible. How long do you think it takes to finish 16 rounds? Minimum 2 hours. Minimum. 2.5 is the best. 2.5. So if we are finishing our 16 rounds in 1 hour, that means we are not chanting, we are cheating. We are not chanting. Chanting is our life and soul. Srila Prabhupada said, if we can only chant our 16 rounds nicely and follow 4 regulative principles strictly, we can go back to the spiritual world. We can go back to Godhead. We can go back to Krishna's abode just by these 2 activities. So here Narad Muni, he concentrated his mind on chanting more with full attention and remembering the Supreme Lord, and while preaching also, giving this knowledge to everybody that he met. And after death, this boy got this body of Narad Muni. He got the spiritual body, the greatest of all sages. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, of all the sages I am Narada. He is worshipable. He is a pure devotee. He is a Mahajana. Right? So this is how he explains to Vyasadeva that in his previous life he was the son of a maidservant, and now he became Narad Muni. And he was blessed to travel anywhere he wanted. If I had that option, I would be in India all the time. I would be traveling back and forth to India, Vrindavan and back, and Kurukshetra and back, and Mayapur and back, and Jagannath Puri and back, right? He can go anywhere. I remember hearing one lecture where the devotee was saying that one of Prabhupada's disciples, he was giving lecture and he said one time Srila Prabhupada was doing arati to the deities. I don't know which temple, I don't remember. But he said, all of a sudden, Srila Prabhupada stopped and he told one of his disciples, bring a chair, Narad Muni is here. Because Srila Prabhupada is empowered. Somewhere I read he's a Shaktavesh avatar. So he could see Narad Muni and he asked for a chair for Narad Muni to see. Can we see that? No. We'll have to change our vision. That doesn't mean we go to Thomas Eye Group and get our eyes checked and get a new pair of glasses. No. Premanchana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. Brahmaji is saying that when we anoint our eyes with love, that is when we get the spiritual vision, and that is when we will be able to see Krishna and his pure devotees. So Narad Muni is worshipable. He's one of the 12 Mahajanas, and he's the one who is considered to be very, very dear to Lord Krishna. We've heard so many pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam about Narad Muni and his disciples. Do you know any names of any of his disciples? Vyasadeva, yes. Prahlad Maharaj. Dhruv Maharaj. Mrigari, yes, the hunter. We've heard Valmiki. Valmiki. So many disciples. And what did he do? He guided them on the right path to perfection. This is what a bona fide guru does. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 34, Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. We need to do two things. Approach a bona fide spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. And then what will happen? The self-realized soul will impart knowledge unto you. Why? Because he has seen the truth. So all these gurus coming down in strict disciplic succession, parampara, they are all empowered and they have seen the truth, which means they have seen Krishna. And they can guide us so that one day we can also see Krishna. In fact, we see in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam that Narad Muni helped his disciple Vyasadeva by bringing him on the right path. Vyasadeva had written the Vedas, right? But he was still not satisfied. So the spiritual master Narad Muni could explain to him why he was still unsatisfied. That is because he had not glorified Krishna. He had not glorified the devotees of Krishna nicely. And that is how Vyasadeva compiled Srimad Bhagavatam for us. How many cantos? 13 cantos, right?
No.
Just making sure you all are awake. It's 12 cantos. You were like, what? Which canto is she talking about? I don't have a 13th canto, no. 12 cantos giving us beautiful description of Krishna's opulences, Krishna's pastimes of his devotees, pure devotees. It's full of that. So Narad Muni guided Vyasadeva to give us Srimad Bhagavatam, the nectarian pastimes of Krishna. In fact, in Kali Yuga, Narad Muni appeared as Srivas Thakur. And in the courtyard of Srivas Thakur is where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started the Sankirtana movement. So Srila Prabhupada, by his mercy, we are sitting today. He has given us everything. He has given us beautiful temples. He has shown us deity worship, Tulsi Arati, Narsingha prayer. He has given us Maha Mantra. He has given us his books, which are also like atom bombs, because once we read, there is an explosion of knowledge in our heart. But we forgot the most important thing he has given us. What do you think? Prasadam. Have you seen anyone fall asleep while eating prasadam? Nobody. In the class? Yes. That? Yes. He's given us prasadam. Something that we can relish, and not only relish, it helps us to purify our body, mind, senses, and even finer brain tissue. So we are very grateful to Srila Prabhupada for helping us become Krishna conscious. We are still trying, for giving us temples where we can get together and we can hear Krishna Katha, and also given us Maha Mantra, which is Om Namo Bhagavate.
Hare Krishna.
No, it is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. That is the only way that can take us back to Godhead, back to Krishna Loka. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Narad Muni ki jai. Thank you. We'll stop here. If anyone has any questions or comments. No questions? Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
I have
Oh, you have a question. Oh. Yes. Hare Krishna.
then my first you have a question.
When we went to Krishna, we do I do a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and my Guru Maharaj, then Prabhupada, and then Jagannath, or I started sometime different way. Okay? I tried to do Radha Madan Mohan is in my heart like that, so I started like that, and then do the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But we respect each other, correct? Rather than chanting each one.
You mean to say, is it okay to chant all or not, or
No,
what?
we remember each one
Yes.
before we start, okay?
Start what?
To chanting.
Oh,
Before
start
I
chanting our rounds.
I try
Okay,
to do
okay,
This
okay.
way, is it the
Yes.
right way or no? I should not do that way. Just do my Guru Maharaj and start chanting.
So, what I have heard is, yes, definitely you offer obeisances to your spiritual master because of him, you are in Krishna consciousness. So, what I have heard is, if we chant Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jadvaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, that helps us that in case we commit any offenses, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will forgive us. So we chant the Panchatattva mantra, but if you like, you can chant your Guru's pranam, you can chant Prabhupada's pranam, you can remember all the deities, and then you can start chanting. That's perfect.
Good.
Yes.
And I do like now I started, every time I finish my chanting
Mm-hmm.
of the mantra,
Mhm.
again I do the Chaitanya
Good.
Mahaprabhu.
Yes, good. The more we remember, the more benefit we get. And you don't lose anything by chanting all those mantras. Yes. But finish 16 rounds attentively.
And
Very important.
Most important thing I found is, in the beginning, 20 years I came here, I had a hard time to chant even 4 rounds.
Mm.
But after I got it initiated, and everybody helped me to get my initiated, and
Sorry,
now
I'm sorry I pushed you too. I'm sorry I pushed you too. Sorry.
Everybody, Balabhadra, everybody
Yes.
were asking me, when you going to do, when you going to do. Finally I did it. 16 round become so easy.
Easy.
Now it has become 20, 24 also easy because I don't watch TV. I use
Yes. Yes.
it helps me now because I found it, every time I turn the TV on is advertising. They are selling
Yes.
me.
I have a suggestion. Best thing, don't have TV at home. If you have, break it. Or throw it. Or donate it. Huh? Oh, yeah. Control. You know, in Bhagavad Gita, 17th chapter, there is austerity of mind, speech, body, etc. There should be austerity of phone also. That no touching the phone till 16 rounds are finished. Yes. And when you see the phone, also use it for reading Prabhupada's books, hearing Kirtan. Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
My question is, Narad Muni is a Manasuputra of Brahma. Now this story from Bhagavad we find that he went through all this. Is that before he became Manasuputra of Brahma or is after?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Because
Yeah, I know he's a Manas Putra of Brahma.
Yeah.
But you see, Lord Shiva also came from Lord Brahma, but still he's in a higher platform compared to Lord Brahma because he's not a Jiva Tattva, right? So there's a difference even though he's the son of Brahma. So I don't know about this Manas Putra, no, I don't know.
Because like the story in the Bhagavad that he became, he born in a Sudra family, then he ate Mahaprasad of all the Bhaktisiddhantas.
Yes,
I
yes.
was wondering when this happened and how he became Manas Putra after or?
So what I heard in a lecture is that so he was a son of a maidservant, right? And then he got blessed by the Bhaktivedantas. And then after giving up that body, he became Narad Muni. He got the spiritual body. Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hey,
Hare Krishna. So let's go down and applause for Geeta Mataji for this final class. So today we have our sponsor, Ramesh Patel. He came yesterday and sponsored the feast for Super Saturday and today Sunday. But he cannot come because he's a little sick. So we'll just Naveen Prabhu do the Arati and we'll pray for him later on. Hare Krishna.
Ladies. That was ridiculous.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Gopal Prabhu for wonderful kirtan. Gopal Prabhu and his good wife Gopika Devi Dasi, they moved from Brazil to ISKCON Atlanta Temple. And they're staying in the temple, and they took up the Sunday class for the children, and they're also cooking every day for the deities. So let's give a round of applause for their wonderful service.
Welcome to home.
So we have our Sunday sponsor, Ramesh Patelji. He's sponsoring Sunday feast for all the devotees and for the pleasure of the deities. He's going through some health issues, so we'll have to pray for him and his family. Please raise your hand and we chant one time Hare Krishna loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you. So we have another devotee who moved from India, Krishna Keshava Prabhu, and he's been here now almost a month, and he took up the book distribution. Just in last week he has distributed 495 medium small books, and also 3 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam and 1 set of Chaitanya Charitamrita and 5 Arabic Bhagavad Gita. Let's give it an applause for him. He's not here, but he's still distributing by the Patel brothers. And we are very happy that he's here. And Vedasa Prabhu told me that he's getting one more devotee, and we'll have a very good Sankirtan team. And that's what Prabhupada wanted. Atlanta was the biggest book distribution place during the time of Prabhupada. And still there are so many devotees going out from other temples, ISKCON, and they're distributing books. And Prabhupada is very much pleased through the book distribution and other service of the Lord. So I just have a few announcements. March 14th is the Papa Mochini Ekadashi. There is a Kirtan from 6 to 8 p.m. And then on the 26th March is Ram Navami, fasting until sunset. This year in the calendar they put fasting until sunset, but generally fast until noon. And then there will be Abhishek from 6 p.m. Later on we'll post all the programs in our website. And then Gopika Mataji and her husband and Ujjashri Mataji, they're heading up the Sunday school. And if you go outside, there is a nice form they have made. And if you want your children to be admitted in the Sunday school, you can go through those forms. And if you feel like, you can fill out those forms. And from 4:30 to 5:30, Sunday school is in the basement. You can take your children there and participate in Sunday school. And also Gopal Prabhu is also having a music class, harmonium mridanga. He's a very expert in mridanga and harmonium. So if you want to learn harmonium mridanga, you can come and see him. I know many devotees over the years, they call me many times. Prabhu, do you have a mridanga teacher, harmonium teacher we want to learn? So now by the grace of Radha Madan Mohan, Gaurita, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, we have a devotee who can teach you all. So please come and see him. And then we're not going to go in details, but there's the biggest festival of the year is coming up, Ratha Yatra. So this year we're going to have a 3 Rath, and many more devotees are going to come. So there are many seva opportunities I'm just going to go through. And if you want to do any seva for this Ratha Yatra, you can come and see me, or you can see Vedasa Prabhu, or you can see Radha Krishna Prabhu, who is the chairman for this festival. So there is a Rath cut, 3 Rath cut. It's a $30,000 donation. Then Gajapati sponsor, there is 10,001. Jagannath Mahaseva. That is when you are sponsoring the each Rath is $10,001. Adivas Then there is a deity dress for $4,500. So request if somebody is sponsoring deity dress, you can sponsor ahead of time so that we can get a beautiful dress for the deities, because it takes really almost 2 months to make those dresses and bring to America. And then there will be also deity garlands, deity jewelry. Festival of India will be coming to set up their booths and tents and stage. Then there will be also Sannyasi Seva, chariot decoration, temple painting. We're going to paint. We're going to have a new temple will be painted, and then Panihati, Mahabig pots. We'll be offering different pots to Lord Madan Mohan Gaunitai on the Panihati day. So there are 3 big pots you can sponsor for $1,501. Then Panihati Mahabig pots, Panihati big pots is $351. Panihati pot medium is $201. Panihati pot small, $101. And then there will be all day prasadam. Non-stop prasadam will go on throughout the day in the morning also. So that is, I think, $5,001. I think Dimple Pariman Majumdar family already sponsored the $5,001 for all day prasadam. Let's give a round of applause for her also. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. And then we have a devotee who has anonymously donated $30,000 for project on the right side. On your right side there's a building. We're going to build that place beautifully. So let's give a round of applause for him. He does not mention your name. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So these are the seva opportunities are there for Rath Yatra, and there are many more. So if you want to participate or you take any of this service, you can come see us. We have a beautiful form we printed, and you can take those forms and just meditate. What service can you do for Lord Jagannath? And then we need many volunteers for many other places, areas, and you can meditate how you can serve Lord Jagannath, and we can have the best Rath Yatra. Because we are having 3 Rath Yatra this year, then we have 1, and please spread the words from today onwards, so that we can get more devotees. As you know, when you have 3 Rath in downtown, we need more devotees to pull the Rath. We had 1 year 3 Rath. We had difficulties finding devotees to pull the Rath because there's not enough devotees. So we really want to make very big propaganda so that we will have enough devotees to do kirtan and to pull the Rath. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
What day
The Rath is on the month of June, 5th, 6th and 7th of June. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday is Adivas, then Saturday is Rath, and Sunday is Panihati festival. Hare Krishna. So Prasadam will serve inside the temple. Please come for the final darshan of the deities. Hare Krishna.